Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl, Vanessa Cabrera, and welcome back to the Becoming series, episode 2, Good Woman versus Rich Woman. Yes, let's get into it. All right, so if you guys missed episode number 1, do me a favor and go watch that. There is a method to my madness. And I'm going to put the link in for that episode for easy access for you guys. But before we do that, definitely go watch that. There, I talked about when success doesn't feel safe. And today, we're going to get into episode 2 about untangling guilt about making more money. Yes? All right. So, if you guys have been connected to me or following me for a while, you guys know I talk about social media strategies, but this series is very, very different. We're not talking about how to increase your followers. We're not talking about how to increase your engagement because I'm going to tell you the facts. I never do anything online. I never give you guys fluff. I give it to you the real. And how you are bringing in clients through social media has nothing to do with your engagement. What? What did she say? Yes, ma'am. All right. We're going to go deeper than that because at the end of the day, it's really just about one human being connecting with another. And there are things, energetic things that you can tell of why you're connecting with someone online versus why you're not. Okay. So there's a deeper level of how you're showing up online that I know is affecting your bank account. We're going to get into that. Cool. All right. So the Becoming series is for entrepreneurs who who've already built something real, something special. You've worked your ass off on your business, right? You have clients, you have contracts, you have a reputation. And it still feels like a gap between where you are now and where you actually want to be. A monster gap between how powerful you really are and how you're moving within your business. So, we're talking to the part of you that wants bigger money, bigger contracts, bigger rooms, but still feels afraid to be seen as that big, that bold, and dare I say, that rich. All right. So, you know that strategy isn't really the issue anymore. Okay. If you've built something, I'm sure you've had plans, you've strategies, you've learned, you've implemented, you've failed, gotten back up, tried again, all of the things, right? And don't get me wrong, we all need a strategy. Okay. You need a plan for how you're going to do this. However, it's more of the stories we're telling ourselves, the fears, the good girl rules, I like to call it, running in the background. So in this series, I'm not trying to fix you. Okay. You're not broken, by the by. We're updating the identity that's running your business from behind the scenes. Yeah. So every episode, I'm pulling on one thread and I'm trying to rewire it. And we're talking about safety, money, visibility, self trust, and recoding it in such a way where your unconscious mind stops treating your next level as a threat and starts treating it like a home. Like it's just who you are. Yeah. Okay, so let's get into it. Good women versus rich women, untangling guilt about making more money. If you're new to me, hello. My name is Vanessa Cabrera. I am a master certified NLP business coach and an award winning social media marketing strategist. And I help ambitious service based women entrepreneurs really understand how to leverage these social channels to scale their business and scale it fast. My clients have reached multiple 5-figure months in record time. We're talking 90 days or less. Some have even hit their first 6-figure payday from one client, one contract. And one is about to hit the $1 million mark with being out, starting her business in less than a year and a half's time. Who says it takes a lot of time to make money? It's not true. All right. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so part of you wants to be filthy rich, okay? Wildly rich, wildly successful, not having to worry about money ever. This reminds me of when I was working on this episode for you guys. This reminds me of Forrest Gump. right? So when he was sitting on the porch and he was talking to the old lady and he was talking about how they discovered bubblegum shrimp and that they invested in Apple, right? And he got a letter from his partner saying, okay, well, we don't have to worry about money anymore. And he's like, good, one last thing, right? That always stuck in my head. And I'm like, wouldn't that be nice? One less thing to worry about, right? You don't have to worry about money. Okay. So we want to be wildly rich, wildly successful, not having to worry about money anymore. Yeah. The other part wants everyone to see you as nice, humble, good, right? So you give, you nurture, you over deliver. But the second it's time for you to receive more, for you to charge more, increase your rates, to own how powerful you actually are, something happens. You hesitate, you shrink it, you soften it. So you've already built something real, okay? Reminding of everything you've accomplished. You've already built something real. You're making the money, having the clients, making an impact, and yet you still may feel guilty for wanting more. And just to be clear, you are not the outliner here, right? Women own millions of businesses in the US. In fact, almost 90% of women owned businesses still make under 100K a year. That's crazy, right? So if you're at six figures or you're trying to hit six figures actually is not a lot of money, not in 2026. So everyone's like trying to grab those six figures, things like that. Okay. And if you feel like, I should be farther by now, right? I should be farther by now. That's not because you're behind. Okay, let's get that clear. It's not because you're behind. That's what happens when we're raised in a world that expects women to work harder, okay, but not necessarily to be rich. I cannot tell you how many conversations, how many women speakers, keynotes, professionals, badass women I have heard say time and time again that because they're a woman, they have to work harder. I can understand that in the corporate world because I certainly felt that when I was in the corporate world. I was told that. It was just an understanding, right? It was something that we just had to accept, which now looking back pisses me off, but here we are, right? However, when you transition, and even if you've been in business for a long time, for a decade, come January, it'll be 14 years that I've been on my own. There's still this download in our unconscious mind that believes this shit, right? So we carry it on that we have to work harder in order to make more. It's bullshit, right? So here's what I want you to know. The tug of war is not you being dramatic, right? It's your unconscious mind doing its job. What do I mean by that? Your unconscious is where your values live. Yeah. What it means to you to be good, to be kind, to be responsible, loyal. Yeah. It's also where all your beliefs about money, the rich, the wealthy live. So if your unconscious files what being a good woman includes to be, let's say, puts everyone else first. Hi, moms. Doesn't rock the boat. Okay. Can't be too opinionated. Doesn't need much. This is all I need, but everyone else can have this. Hi, moms. Again. Yeah. And you file being a rich woman to be selfish, greedy, disconnected from the real people, right? She can't understand my problems, right? She doesn't know. Then, of course, wanting more money is going to feel wrong on some level. that didn't come from nowhere. We're living in a world where women still earn around 80 cents for every dollar men earn, and where it's normal for women to step back and let someone else handle the big money decisions. So, of course, your unconscious links good woman with self sacrificing and rich woman with who she thinks she is, right? Who this bitch thinks she is. I had a client recently share this with me. And again, I've heard this time and time again, which is why I want to talk to you guys about this. So we were having this conversation about what she wanted, where she was in her business, all of the things, right? And she told me, she's like, okay, Vanessa, I've been watching you for a minute, right, online, and all you do is talk about money. It's all about numbers, right? I don't care about money. Or the money is not that important. I've heard, God, now saying these words, oh my God, I've heard this so many times. The money is not important. I want to make an impact. That's what really matters to me, right? And I looked at her and I said, yes, I understand. I looked at her in the eye and I'm like, I completely understand. It's my belief that entrepreneurs, especially women entrepreneurs, we started our business wanting to serve. We're natural nurturers. We wanting to help. That's how I started. I remember thinking I knew a lot about digital marketing. I just intuitively understood it. And there were really simple things that I knew, if they knew what I knew, would impact them immensely. So I wanted to help. So I get it. We want to make an impact, right? So then I asked her, I said, okay, yeah, I completely understand. I get it. Why can't you do both? Why can't you make money and an impact? And she stepped back, cocked her head back. I'll never forget this. Stayed quiet. Clearly, she was processing. I allowed her to process. And finally, she whispered, because I don't want too much. And then she goes, oh, shit. She goes, I didn't know I thought that way. I didn't know I felt that way. Right? Oof. And so these are the things that women don't talk about. These are the things that we don't talk about publicly, but I am today and in this series because I'm over it. Okay. Right. So this isn't you being stuck or confused or, any of that. It's your values and your bank account literally having an argument in the dark inside your head. Yeah. All right. So why does this matter so much in business? Well, it's everything. Yeah. Especially for women who are already at six figures, trying to get six figures, are past six figures, wherever you're at, okay, in your business, in the amount of money that you made this year, past years. When you spent your whole life being praised for being helpful, generous, always there, the one who always shows up, does her homework, all of the things, right? Overachievers. I know who you are. I see you, I feel you, I am you, right? Money doesn't just become numbers, it becomes a character test. Okay. Deep down, the fear isn't just, what if I make more and it doesn't last? What if I make more and it all crumbles? Or what if I make more this month and nothing next month? Yeah. It's, what if I make more and I become someone I don't like? Or to take it a step further, what if I become someone my family doesn't like? My community doesn't like, my friends don't recognize. And if you believe you have to pick between being loved and being loaded, your unconscious mind will always choose love. Always. In fact, women, we talk about love more than we talk about money. Think about that, right? There's more rom-com movies out for us than Wall Street movies. Yeah. So that's why this good woman versus rich woman split, man, she's sneaky. She sneaks in there, right? So it doesn't show up saying, it's not like you're sitting around saying, I don't want money. Nope, I don't want it. I don't need it. No thanks. I don't want that $100,000 contract. I don't want, that stage that will pay me 25,000. No. It shows up like this. It shows up when you keep your goals vague so you don't have to be held to them. It shows up by downplaying your wins so no one feels less than or you don't look like more than. It's quietly capping your rates so you don't out earn your parents, your partner, your friends, and or your clients because they can't afford you. And then you wake up one morning and you realize you built a business that serves everyone else's comfort more than your own capacity. Yeah. If a part of you believes good women don't want too much, you will always cap what you allow yourself to receive. I repeat that. If a part of you believes good women don't want too much, you will always cap what you allow yourself to receive. Okay. All right. So let's put some real language behind this, okay? Around how this looks within your day-to-day operations. Okay. How are you operating when we think this way? Okay. By the way, I was there too. Okay. I was there too. All right. So again, I know you're not twiddling your thumb sitting around saying, how can I undercharge myself today? Right? How can I possibly make less money than men? No. Okay. All right. So within this series, I'm focusing on the three pillars of what women entrepreneurs deal with on the day to day. Okay. So I touched upon it in episode 1 and moving forward. So it's money, visibility, and capacity. Okay. Those are the three examples I want to anchor into you about what you're telling yourself. Yeah. All right. So in regards to money, you keep your rates at a level that feels reasonable for everyone else, even though your demand and delivery says otherwise. In other words, you know damn well you need to raise your rates, but you don't, or you do it slowly. You add extra calls, extra support, extra deliverables that were never really a part of the original plan because you're trying to deliver real value. That's just real more work. Yeah. You delay sending bigger invoices or proposals because you tell yourself you're tweaking it, I'm working on it, but really you're managing your guilt or your fear of putting in that big number. What about if you put an extra zero on that quote? What would that feel like? Money talk has literally been policed our whole lives. Almost 60% of women say they've had their finances mansplained to them. And a lot of women flat out avoid talking about money. Just don't talk about it. So you're not just fighting your own guilt. On top of that, you're fighting a culture that trained us, to shut up about money and just be grateful for whatever you get. That's some bullshit if you ask me. All right, so that's money. Let's talk about power and visibility. Okay. So when you share a client win or your own win, right? You lead with their magic and almost erase your involvement, your role. So it doesn't sound like bragging, right? I've done this. Oh my gosh, I used to do this all the time. Oh, it was all her. She did the work. I would say that she did the work. Da, da, da. I was there too, right? You use the words like, I just got lucky, right? Or that just landed in my lap. I had another client say that. It was like it magically landed in my lap. I remember her saying it like it was coming down like a feather. Instead of owning the years of work and skill that it took for that opportunity to show up. You'd rather be perceived as relatable than as powerful. This is my favorite, okay? Because I see this every day, all day online. You're showing up, right? But I can see you're shrinking. I can see it, right? Like, man, she's hiding in plain sight, right? We're hiding how far we've actually come. All right, regarding capacity and boundaries. So you squeeze people into lunch breaks, evenings, weekends, because they're busy. Their schedule doesn't permit it, right? While you're pretending not to be exhausted. You say yes to unpaid advisory, extra favors, one more board or committee meeting because these are my people and I feel like I have to serve them. I've heard the word have to. I don't even know how many times. Or they'll feel guilty in saying no. The idea of having more white space, more free time, more support, more money than you need feels almost uncomfortable, like you're hoarding, right? Like this isn't something's not right. Yeah. In one big global study, more than half of married women said that they let their husbands handle the long term financial decisions. And later, most widows and divorcees said they wish they'd been more involved. So if part of you feels like I'm uncomfortable, I'm comfortable and resourced, I'm doing something wrong. Does that make sense? Yeah. This isn't a character flaw. This is conditioning. So from the outside, this looks like generosity. You're being generous. You're being humble. You're wanting to serve. She's such a good girl. She's such a great woman. You know, all of the things, right? On the inside, it's a woman who still doesn't believe she's allowed to be both deeply good and deeply paid. Okay. All right. So I want to make this real for you guys. Okay. I'm going to walk you guys through a quick exercise. Don't panic. This is supposed to be fun. Okay. Do this after the live streaming, not while you're watching me. Okay. Because I want you to really focus and it won't take very long. Okay. All right. So grab a pen and paper or your chatty. Okay. All right. Step one. I want you to expose your current definitions. What does that mean? At the top of your page, I want you to write this sentence. Okay. A good woman is. Then do a brain dump. Don't think, just write. A good woman is. And just start writing. Okay. What does that mean? A good woman shows up. A good woman is on time. A good woman balances her bank account. A good woman is there for her friends. Whatever it is to you. Okay. Got it? Good, good, good. All right. Now, underneath that, I want you to write a rich woman is. Okay. Same exercise. Don't think. Just start to write. Brain dump. Okay. Write the first words that come to your mind. A rich woman is powerful, out of touch, intimidating. Okay. Whatever it is to you. Got it? Good, good, good. Then I want you to look at those two lists. Okay. If good and rich live on opposite sides of the page, of course you feel torn when money starts to grow. Of course you find ways to slow it down. Okay. We don't follow up. We don't send the proposal out. We stop showing up on social media, all of the things. Okay. All right. So that's step one. Step two is I want you guys to create a new identity of what a rich, good woman is. All right, so I want you to take that piece of paper and underneath that, I want you to write a rich, good woman is. And this time, I want you to tell the truth about the woman you're actually becoming. This is about you now. Okay. So some options could be a rich good woman funds things that matter. One phenomenal thing about having money, you can donate, you can be generous with it, right? A rich, good woman pays people well and on time. Okay. All the things. So empty out what it means a rich, good woman is for you. Does that make sense? With me? Good, good, good. All right. So this is the identity that lets your values and your bank account sit on the same side of the table. You are now working together instead of constantly battling yourself. Most of the time, you probably don't even know you're doing this. Okay. And if you do, you don't know how to overcome it or move past it. Okay. So I'm trying to help you do that. All right. Step 3. Okay. Step 3. One tiny aligned move. So write this down. And I said it in episode 1, and I will continue to say it all the way up until the end. Your unconscious believes what you do more than what you say. Your unconscious believes what you do more than what you say. Okay. So I want you to pick one tiny action and do it within the next 24 to 48 hours. Okay. This action should line up with that rich, good woman you just described. Yeah. So I can give you some examples. How about increase your rates today? Don't wait till January 1st, 2026. There is no January 1st, 2026. Today, now, right now. Change that proposal. Put a 0 at the end of it. Put another comma in it. Okay. Remove one unpaid pain in the ass client that's draining you, that you may already know you probably should have fired a long time ago. Okay. Share a win without minimizing it or immediately deflecting it. Okay. I had to learn how to do this. I'm still learning how to do it, to be honest with you. And this is a bonus. Okay. I have a bonus for you guys, right? Tell one trusted person your real money goal for next year. And I want you to take it a step further. Okay. I'm going to push you guys to take this action. DM me and tell me. Promise you, it'll be just between you and me. Okay. What is your real money goal for 2026? How much money do you want to make next year? Yeah. All right. So, what if you stopped making yourself choose between a rich woman and a good woman? What if your generosity was funded, not drained, by your business? What if your kids, your community, your clients saw a woman who was kind and comfortable? What if your desire to be rich didn't cancel out your desire to be good? What if it amplified it? Because here's the thing, we know women are already out there doing the work. We're doing it. Hi there, right? We've been doing it. Okay. Women own a huge share of businesses, but the revenue gap is still massive. Okay. So the question isn't, can women build businesses? You've already proved that you can. You are. Right? The real question is, will you let yourself build one that actually pays you at the level you want? If you believe you can, then I have an invitation for you. I'm opening up spots for my 2026 Courage Container. I have not had a group coaching experience in over 2.5, 3 years. So I'm super excited about this. I have been called for this. You guys have told me you want more community. Here it is. Yeah. So the Courage Container is my high touch 90-day group coaching experience for already successful service-based women who are done being busy but capped and ready for their business and their unconscious mind to actually be able to hold more money, more visibility, and more ease at the same time. It's where you take everything you've already built, right? And turn it into predictable cash, cleaner strategy, and real support instead of white knuckling it all on your own. The Courage Container is a small, curated women of, say, no more than 8. I'm capping it at 8, where we're going to rewire your unconscious mind and invisibility patterns with NLP, timeline therapy, and some deep mindset work. So you're not trying to scale on top of fear, on top of guilt, or your good girl programming. Okay. We're going to tighten up your offers, your pricing, and your positioning. So your income goals for the first 90 days of 2026 are realistic, specific, and backed by math, backed by talking about money. Okay. Not by manifesting and vibes, right? We'll use AI, plus, of course, my organic social media marketing strategies that work to create content that leads to conversations, contracts, and cash, not just likes and inspiring comments. You'll execute it with weekly accountability and real-time coaching. So you stop guessing, stop hiding, and actually follow through on the money-making moves you say you want to learn. Yeah. So it's a 90-day visibility sprint wrapped in mindset, strategy, and community that matches the level of woman that you're becoming. Yeah. It's a safe space for service-based entrepreneurs such as coaches, consultants, strategists, speakers, authors, practitioners who are already like at around 6 figures, but you guys heard my insane stat that 90% don't even hit 6 figures. But if you're around there, right, or above, and you know your results aren't matching your brilliance, this includes you. Okay. Most of your businesses has come from referrals, word of mouth, or your reputation, and you want social to start pulling its weight, to start really pulling its weight the way you know it can, right? Okay, so if you are craving high-level community, a room where we're talking about money, power, and desire is the norm and not being too much, whatever the hell that means. And you're willing to look at both your strategy, right? So we'll look at your offers, pricing, visibility, all the things, and your unconscious stories so we can start rewriting them about safety, success, and being a good woman. Then I invite you to have a private conversation with me about the Courage Container. I'm going to put the link below in this live stream. You're going to click on it. It's going to lead you to my proof of work page. You'll see how I've worked with clients in the past, all of the things. Click apply and it'll lead you to my calendar. Cool? Yeah. All right. So here's the thing, guys. You don't need to be a different woman to be the good rich woman. You just need to stop apologizing for the one that you already are. Cool? All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you online. Peace.